Okay, good morning. I want to talk briefly about wedges. There are varying uses for wedges. Wedges are so critical to your short game, enabling you to get close to the pin and score well. Traditionally, most pros and quite a few guys who play regular use between 2 and 4 wedges in the bag. Pitching wedge, sand wedge. Some use a 52, 54, 60, 50. I prefer 5 wedges in my bag. I actually carry a pitching wedge, which is a 47 degree. I carry a 50 degree. I carry a 52 degree. My sand wedge is a 54, and then I have a lob wedge that is a 60 degree. And the reason for 5 wedges for me is the distances. I'm hitting my 60 degree lob between 50 and 90 yards, depending on the shot that I need to make. My sand wedge, it's just a straight 100-yard club. I rarely try to hit it shorter distances. It's basically my 100-yard club. Then I have a 52. That's between 115 and 120. Every now and then it'll come up a little bit shorter than that 115, depending on how soft the swing I have. But a full swing with that 52 is between 115 and 120. And then I have my 50 degree, which is the newest wedge that I put into my bag. And the reason for that was I had a gap between the 52 and my 47, which is the pitching wedge. The pitching wedge, I'm hitting max 140. I can dial that down to about 130, depending. But with a full swing, that's about a 140 club. Sometimes a little more, depending on the conditions. But I added the 50 to my bag, which is a 130 club. And I pretty much use that only when I'm trying to get between 125 and 130 distance. But the other thing that I wanted to say about the wedges are all wedges are capable of doing more than one thing for you out there. Of course, with your full swing, you have the distances that you actually want to measure out to know what you're capable of doing. And then each and every wedge is a club that you can use in and around the greens, depending on the lie, and also depending on how close to the green. If you're 20 yards and in, you should be using wedges. Pitching wedge, 20 yards, depending on if the flag is in the back or the middle. The 50 degree I like to use 10 yards out, and in, again, depending on the lie and if the flag is in the front, middle, or back. The 52 and the 54, the 54 rather, that's the sand wedge. I don't hardly ever use that one because it has so much loft on it, and I just haven't been able to control that loft for the distance. But the 60, if I'm in a position where I'm 40 yards out, then I'll use the 60 degree and open that face wide open and just loft that thing up there. With a full swing, loft that thing up there. But the wedges that I like to use most in and around the green is the pitching wedge, the 50 and the 52. And those have been my money makers when I'm short of the green. Anyway, get out there, work with your wedges, learn the distances on your wedges so that when you are in between clubs or you are on those distances that requires a little finesse, you can always go to the wedge. They perform the best. All right, enjoy.